Oh man, I got something. My hair. Oh, it's bad. Glued my hat to my hair. Shit. Needs a little bit of sealer putting that gas tank in. Well, it's another day in Tri-5 land. Dan here, DD Speed Shop, as always. Where we left it, this fine 57 convertible. That's really just a 4-door. We were just doing a little bit of body panel work, stuff like that. I literally haven't even cleaned up, still got a mess. So job one is that. But what I want to do is I want to start working on a little bit of mechanical things. Now that I'm confident it's going to look like a convertible, there's no worries. I can start spending a few bucks or start pulling some of my parts out of storage, my stash, that I got to start using. So I was going through the shed and the basement and I found a bunch of stuff I didn't even know I had. So it's a Tri-5 thing. Danny's looking at me looking crazy, but it's a Tri-5 thing for sale, I buy it. Anyways, I found this. I got one good, whoop. And let's bend this in half real quick. One good little side piece here. So that's pretty sweet. We can eliminate the 4-door one. That's down the road, obviously. I think, actually, I knew a guy who's got another side, but it's kind of crimpled up, so we'll see. But this is the pile of parts I want to try and put on, well, I'm going to say today, but this video, it's already kind of late. I got a little lazy today. I had this really nice set of ceramic coated headers. Will not fit. These ones that are all beat to hell, these will fit a Tri-5. These little custom mufflers I had on it, but peel those off. I want to see how this will fit with the collectors around the X frame kind of piece. I'm hoping it'll be just perfect, but if not, we'll find out in a hurry. This is a brand new fuel tank that was in the 56 I sold. It's actually a 57 tank. 57 tanks are vented, and they have a drain on them, which is handy. Brand new straps. This is the drive shaft I had made or shortened. I don't know. It's got brand new U-joints in it. That was from the 56, which had that motor trans in it, so should all just bolt right up, no issues. My only concern is I did put the motor mounts in 3/4 inch forward, so might not be long enough, but we'll deal with that down the road. And then today I just picked these up. These are brand new to me, brand new, never installed leaf springs. Now, unfortunately, they are 1-inch drop springs. Hey, beggars can't be choosers. The guy bought these and then ended up 4-linking it, his hot rod. So that's good. And while I was there, I bought so much other stuff off him. Check all this stuff out. I got a, he actually gave me a lot of stuff. So for 150 bucks, we got springs and shackles and all that. Those to get to my door are like 400 or 500 bucks, Canada. Anyways, I got this. This is for cross member for shocks on Tri-5s. The shocks actually bolt into the trunk, so I got the cross member and brand new shocks, mint. This right here, power steering box, brand new, and it's got some sort of cross shaft 2-degree offset. He said you need these to run power steering on Tri-5. I don't know, I've never run Tri-5 power steering, but either way, the box online is like 500 bucks. But he went rack and pinion and stuff like that, so that was pretty sweet. Now I got a bunch of other garbage basically for free, but I'll show you. It's in the back of the truck, and we paid the price of the full tour, right? So I got 2 sets of leaf springs. One set's bust, one set are mint, but it's got 6 leaves in it. So I don't know, like trailer package or something like that. But anyways, got that. Extra shackles, so that can't go wrong. Set of front springs. Never have too many springs. Another steering box, which is pretty sweet, and a whole set of control arms, which I also can't really complain about. So these are really nice. The uppers are always in good shape. Oh, the lowers, they're always beat like this. So that one's a little KO'd. It's always the driver's side that's beat up. Passenger side's pretty good. I can't complain, but hey, for $0 you can't complain. Oh, this one's a little KO'd there. But it's got bolt-in ball joints, which is nice. They're easy to take out. Needs a set of bushings, but hey, for the price, I can't go wrong. Anyway, step one, I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to take the exhaust kind of muffler, header mufflers I put on off. My concern is the driver's side always sucks fitting around the steering box. So we'll see if we can maybe jack transmission up, get the motor level. I guess maybe I'll mess with that cross member a little bit, that transmission cross member, see what it's going to do, see if we can get the headers fit, and then go from there. Because if headers don't fit, that's going to be ugly. It's going to be chopping and welding and all sorts of screwing around, or spending money, which I don't want to do. Leaf springs will be easy. I'm going to change the whole rear end out. This rear end was sitting in a ditch or something, so the pad and all that's rotted out, and actually the tube is all rusty. So we're going to use the rear end that came in the actual 4-door. The rear end in this one is from the convertible frame originally. So we'll take it all apart, we'll see what it looks like. But once you chop it all out, it's easy, especially with new mounting hardware. Drive shaft should go in easy. Same with this, you know, it's 2 bolts. Tank should go in, no big deal. I don't know if I have the mounting bolts, unfortunately. I might have lost those. But there's like carriage bolts, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the plan today with this video. Should be a good one. Well, got late in a hurry and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. Destroy my life. But we got the motor kind of leveled out. I had the angle finder out for, you know, 2.5 or so degrees that way, which is what we want. Underneath, a couple of wins, more losses. Well, just setbacks, building hot rods, right? So I just welded in the transmission cross member just for the time being. Well, I'll probably do, well, I'll weld some pads on either side and drill some holes so it can kind of come in and out. But for the time being, the transmission is supported. It's hard to see, I guess, but it fits in there nice, so that's good. Put the drive shaft in. Unfortunately, man, this X frame, oh, you can see it there, it's out too much. Obviously the other motor was not on the half-inch or 3/4 inch forward, so it needs about 1 inch or so added to the drive shaft, which is a pain, but you know what, this will be good enough. You drive around the yard and do whatever and get it all set. And before we do anything crazy, we're going to change the rear end, the leaf springs, the whole deal. So we'll get that sorted and then get a really accurate measurement. And that's, like a big Ryan, he can take care of that. All I gotta do is give him all my money. Up front, the exhaust situation, not great, could be worse. I'm gonna find out what I want to do here. So I mean, these are, they're long tube headers. They're in the exact spot that I paid for. There's no bones about it, just below the frame, which is super common. The issue is this X. So I either have to, which I kind of think I might, either just notch this out a little bit, and then the collector will go, it just isn't, it's hitting the X piece, the little I-beam. And I can do that, then I can have the collector, I'll step it down, and then I can just put like a little whoop-de-doo around it, or, which I also might do, if I cut the collector and shorten it, so the collector would be kind of more here, then that gives a lot of room to do whatever. I'm going to end up going under this X piece right here, because have it go way up would be goofy. Like I said, those mid-length headers didn't fit. This is what I got, so we'll do that. Once we get it down, then we can just kind of swoop up. The nice thing is, get part of the back here. That hole, like the center hole, the oblong one, that's where the exhaust is going to go, and you can see it's right in line with the header. So if we have it start a little low, we can kind of angle it up. It'll come right through here, which is fine. And then, you know, muffler here, that's where mufflers are in Tri-5s, and probably just a turn down for right now. Still leaves lots of room for all the e-brake mechanism and all that sort of stuff. So everything will work out. Unfortunately, those the headers aren't the greatest. Yes, I do have a set of ram horns, but I don't know. I don't have any pipe down from them. I don't have the flapper door or any of that stuff. So it could work. I actually don't know if ram horns fit because of the steering box. Probably does. The headers fit great up top, which is nice. Lots of room around the control arms and everything. This is the tough side. I can fit the other side. I'm sure it'll be fine. So I think that's where I'm going to end it, because I need to get parts. I got to grab exhaust, like those 22-degree U's to fit around the X. So I'll get that and see what's going to look like if I want to move it ahead or notch the I-beam for one, and then straight back. I didn't have any mufflers or anything. I don't have any pipe, but just get up around there, and then the rest is easy. Drive shaft, whatever. I don't have any of the U bolts to secure in the rear end. Want to get a set of those. And tomorrow, like I said, I'll chop the leaves out. I need to get some new, that's the other thing, I didn't have any Sawzall blades. The bolts aren't coming out of those leaf springs. You just Sawzall and put new hardware in. So I'll do that tomorrow. I do have a set of U-bolts on the wall, which I used for the 56 before I lowered it or whatever. So they're brand new, literally on the thing for 2 miles. So those are fine. We're not supposed to reuse them, but they'll be fine. So we'll get that on there so we can get the rear end and springs in. Look at the exhaust, transmission's in, then we can decide if that's all tickety-boo. I'll yoink that drive shaft out, get it run down, have an inch added to it, which is unfortunately a whole new tube, so that'll be a few dollars. But the rear end's gonna find me, I have to buy new straps for that, so it should be good. Put the shocks in, kind of all that sort of jazz, and then it'll be a roller minus a drive shaft. And yeah, actually not too bad. Was there another? Oh, and the fuel tank. Put the fuel tank in tomorrow, but that's 2 straps. That's no big deal. I think I want to change the rear end out first, so I'm not banging into it. And then today Amazon showed up with brake line and fuel line, so I can plumb the thing front to back. I mean, really, this is stuff that's time consuming, but I've done it a bunch of times, should go quick. That's where I'm leaving for now. Kind of a lot of talking. Tomorrow we'll do a lot more action, and we'll go from there. See you tomorrow. Alright, what's going on, guys? What's the next day? We got some parts. Not everything we need, but a fair bit we can get going on the exhaust and the suspension. Now, Sawzall is my tool of choice. So at the end of the day in your shackle, you have your bolt going through. The bolt ends up typically getting jammed up in the leaf spring. So even if you got the nut off, which is probably not the end of the world, that bolt's never coming out. So I just Sawzall them in half and put in new hardware. For the cost of the bolt, it ain't worth the frustration. So we're gonna do that. So yeah, cut the front bolt, cut the back bolt. The whole mesh should come out in one shot. We'll take out this old fuel tank and put a new one in. This one's KO'd, but don't use old fuel tanks. It's not worth the hassle. Trust me. Spend the few $100 and carry on with life. So we'll get this chopped out. Go from there. That's for it's an absolute gong show. Getting this stupid rear end out, I had to chop it all out. I just got like a brand new oxyacetylene. Acetylene was empty. That was awesome. So I couldn't even have a torch. So basically just kind of Sawzall. The back isn't as important as the front. And the reason the front is it has a steel sleeve. So what happens is in the bushing, the bolt runs through this steel sleeve. Well, the bolt ends up rusting to that steel sleeve, so it's never ever coming out. I don't know, to blast out one, then ran out of gas. Now this is the reason I want to change the whole rear end. Look at this axle tube is just absolutely coming apart, and there's actually holes, show here, right through this pad. So you could as well, like I said, a new pad on the back of the tube. It's got this little brace, and it's completely rotted out. These Tri-5s actually have a tendency to flip the rear end in the like break right off of that and flip it, so it ain't worth it. I got the other rear ends in good shape. I'll drag that out. We'll get all this cleaned up. I'll bolt on the new shackles or the new leaves to the old, well, the other rear end, the new old rear end. I'll roll it under, and then pretty simply you just gotta put 2 bolts in the front, and then you jack it up into the back. I'll probably pull the fuel tank out real quick, which is just 2 3/8 bolts, and it'll follow with 2 straps, and then we'll reinstall the new stuff. Well, we've worked ourselves into the night, unfortunately. That's how she goes. I got the rear end in. I didn't do a lot of filming because it was just so friggin' frustrating. I actually knocked the camera over and I just kept giving her. But nothing's tight. We got the leaves in. Everything is shackled down. So the bolts are loose on the shackles on the front because you want to have the weight on that before you tighten it up. But whatever, it's tight on the leaves. The shock mounts are broken. I'll have to fix those. These have been replaced. They're bolt-in ones, not weld-in. Oh gosh. Here is, this light works out. Here's how rotted this diff was. It's the pin right through it. And like I said, the one side here was pretty bad. All up in there. Oh, yeah, you can even see. Does it show up there? It's actually got oil leaking out there. Now all the oil seeping through it, there was an actual rotten through piece on the tube. Which at least there's oil in this thing still, but that's no good. So that's wore out, the actual housing itself. Here are the leafs. I thought I was going to have one good one. As it turns out, I do not. This one's got a crack in it. So that's junk too. The way these work, the main leaf, it's got one that runs from the back and then obviously the pack. The top one always breaks. Here's the other side. You can see it as well. It's broken in many pieces. That's where the pad would sit. So we got lots of junk. Lots and lots of junk. Look at the mess I've made. Anyways, so we got the rear end in. Those tires are 14-inch wheels. These are the same. These are the mate to the ones that I got my 55. So they're a set of 15x7 American Racing kind of daisies. So we're gonna put those on because they look good. So we'll have 15s in the back instead of 14s up front. I guess I don't need a light anymore. So that's that. Now here is what we're going to currently work on, probably finish off the video with the header. So this is a long tube header. On the other side, I'll show you, it's in the car already. I shortened this up. I just kind of randomly took a chunk out. I actually pointed the collector down slightly. Then I had a 20-degree piece to bring it back up, and then it went into the rest of the exhaust, which is going to work out great. The only problem is they only had one. Oh, I'm dirty. Oh, I went to Canadian Tire like this. They only have one 20-degree little shroop-to-do, or whatever you want to call it. So I got to go to another Canadian Tire tomorrow, but it's 11 o'clock now, so that's not happening. But if you want to get it, oh, you know what? We're also going to put this fuel tank in. Fuel tank with the new straps, which are right there. See, everything's organized chaos. So it's got brand new straps. We'll put those in. That's pretty easy. 2 bolts, and then we can drop this thing down. I'll just show you the exhaust. I hate working at night. You can't see nothing. So, the light again. Look at that. So you see, I put a little angle down in the collector. So it's pointed slightly down, and this little 20-degree or 22-degree, kind of giving it a little up, which is pretty nice. This is just 2.5-inch exhaust pipe, obviously, and it fits right through the little hole. I think what I'm going to do, I assume this probably had 2-inch or 2.25 from factory, so I might just kind of oblong the hole a little bit and make it so it'll fit the exhaust slightly better. But we'll get the other header hung, collector on, and then all we gotta do is put that piece on. I'll weld it to the collector. And this is just 5 feet of exhaust. I think I might just put a cherry bomb on this thing. I'm feeling nostalgic. I feel like a cherry bomb would have been the cool thing to do. So that's probably what's gonna happen. I like to put a set of tailpipes on it, but I don't know. So that's where it's so dark. That's where the pipe is. So it might just be a cherry bomb and a dump. I have the U-joint, or the drive shaft U-joint just taped up. It's too short. I gotta add an inch to it type thing, but it'll be good for now. It'll be enough we can kind of roll this thing around, make sure the rear end's not piled up in it and stuff like that. But really, we'll get that all done. I don't know what we're doing next. I got the aluminum radiator, like I said. That might go in next on the next video. Plumbing the brakes, plumbing the cooling system, plumbing the fuel system. Maybe make it run. I don't know, I got a wiring harness. There's all sorts of stuff. Let me know what you guys want. Do you want to see the body finished up, or you want to make it kind of run and drive as a project? I don't know, I can go either way. And honestly, I'll probably change my mind 15 times anyways. But up next, we'll put the laps up. We'll get maybe on that exhaust. It might be too dark at the back of the garage here for putting the fuel tank in, but we'll see what happens. A couple of straps, get that in there, and I want to put these other wheels on, drop it in the ground. I really hope with these drop springs, it's not going to look ridiculous, but maybe a gas or 57 Chevy wagon is cool now, right? I've never seen one. Okay, so it should be a pretty simple setup. I'm going to leave the collector and everything all together. We are going to cut this off right at this little junction you think. What it actually did is this went from 2.5 to 3 inch because it had some leftover 3-inch pipe and a 3-inch, I don't know what this race bullet muffler, which is ridiculously loud and not for this. But we'll cut it here, and we'll cut it here, and we'll cut it here, taking this section out, clean up the metal, and glue it back together. Should be hot weld. So here's the plan. When I cut this, I cut it at a bit of an angle, which is what we want. So we're just going to make sure we size it up, it'll be fine. And give it the old eyeball test. We want it pointed down, just a scotch. There we go, locked in. Burn it together. Alright, wheels are on. Exhaust is a little snug. I've got the fuel tank in. Let's just drop this thing down and see what it looks like. Well, it's not bad. Well, it's hard to get far enough away, but it's real high in the front, probably because it has to be rolled back and forth a little. The rear looks good. I like it like that. Those 15s on it now, tucked up there. This thing should be, I can see, hopefully it's sitting level. The garage is crooked, but oh yeah, it's much better. It was like this side down big time, that broken spring. The header on the passenger side just, oh man, I got something, my hair, oh, it's bad. Glued my hat to my hair. Shit. Needs a little bit of sealer putting that gas tank in. Oh, that's bad. Oh yeah, the header. So the header is going to hit the little across. This header is quite a bit longer, which I knew. I shortened it up a fair bit, but it was not quite enough. I'll have to just zip a little bit out of the I-beam cross brace, just for the ring of the clamp for the collector to fit. Not a big deal. I still got to get that 20-degree piece tomorrow, and maybe some mufflers. We'll see. I might just leave that, but I think we'll bang that out and clean up in here. Something else I was going to do, but I forget what it was. I guess we'll just finish off the exhaust. I'll show you the fuel tank. We'll get that done first thing tomorrow, and then we'll move on to something else. See you tomorrow. Well, it's the next day. Got the car out, cleaned up a little bit to make a bunch more mess. Story of my life. I got the exhaust on. I actually just moved the collector back. I re-welded it. Basically what I did yesterday, I redid it. And there you go. It looks cool. A little high in the front. The back looks really good though. I think it tucks that wheel real nice in my mind. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm sure you'll let me know. That's a 235/70 235/70/15. So same height as these. These are 275/60s. So it should have basically the same tuck, which it does, and it just doesn't have the same width because, well, I'm not obsessed with a big wide tire on a ragtop. Look at that. Squint real hard. Looks just like a convertible. Looks terrible with that door, rear door handle piece, eh? Anyways, that's where I'm leaving this video. Neighbors coming up. It's always embarrassing when you're talking to yourself when the neighbor drives by. But I think I'm going to do next a bunch more welding. We got the motor and trans in. I really want to make it run and drive and kind of bark to life and finish the exhaust and run the cooling system and all the brakes and all that stuff. But you know what? I hate welding, cutting and all that stuff when you have to do all that, because then you're working around brake lines and fuel lines and all that sort of stuff. Right now, I don't have really much of a fire hazard other than the undercoating on the thing. We got a bunch of parts today in the mail. The old Rock Auto order showed up, so we got carpet, we got brakes, we got suspension, we got steering, we got it. So the parts are there to go together. I have a wiring harness. I bought an El Cheapo off Amazon, so I'm excited to try that out. I've been buying those, I think $300 universal ones. This one was like $100, so I'm excited to try that out. Hopefully it's not complete junk. Pass that information on to you. If I can save you guys a little bit of money by my mistakes or fluking it out, that's a win. So I think that's it. Up next will be a pile of welding. I don't know how I'm going to film the next video because everything's together. It might be just an absolute montage of time lapse because rockers, quarters, we still got to weld the doors in. I got so much to do in the sill. The floors still got to be done front and back. That's a lot of work. That side's barely hung on that back door, right? You can see daylight through the bottom. I gotta fill that all in. And then there's like just typical rust repair doing the wheel tubs. We'll do that another time. I want to get all the big welding done, especially around the back where the fuel system's going to be, and then I can run everything up. I think we're going to be committed to fixing these fenders for the time being, because I haven't found any yet. Now, the hood's not that bad. I got another set of spears for it. We got to track down a windshield and some trim, and you guys had a bunch of ideas about this. I appreciate the crap out of that. So if you have any more, put them in the comments. I am reading every single one of them. People have a bunch of ideas, stainless steel exhaust and stuff you can kind of polish up. I don't know, it looks terrible right now, but I'm thinking drip rails off, chrome on the door with the wing window, and then decide how much I want to cut of this. Even if I just box it in, make it look kind of pretty, better than nothing. That's where I'm leaving today. Well, for this video, which today's been a couple of days up. Man, that rear end going in kicked my ass. I can't believe how much work it was. But I think the ugly work is done. I probably jinxed myself, but anyways, next video is starting right now for me. Hopefully in a couple days for you guys, and it will be all sorts of welding, grinding, fire. My face will be black top to bottom. I'll be spitting up and hacking up welding junk, which I'm sure you guys can all relate to. That's where we're leaving it, and after that, I want to make it run. Put the carpet in, put some seats in it, make it look cool. All right, see you later.